And you're touring with Elliot Murphy. I'm curious about how you work together. Tell me a little bit about touring with Elliot Murphy.
We got connected through the agent we work with, which is the same agent, Ann Layton in New York. And he came to one of my gigs, and he saw what I was doing and liked it, and he wanted to start touring in the U.S. again. He now lives in Paris. He has been living in Paris for the last 20 years and tours in Europe all the time and does very well over there. But he's from Long Island originally, and he had a few major label releases in the 70s, and he just started touring here again. So it turned out to be a good pairing, me opening for him and us combining forces, so to speak, because I have a growing fan base, and he is trying to reconnect with his fan base. So and it worked. We've done about 20 shows together in the Northeast and in California. He's coming back again later this year, 2009, to do some shows in December in the Northeast. So it's a great connection, and I think he's a fantastic writer and performer, and I'm actually a fan. So it's a nice situation.
Okay. I'd like to ask you a couple questions that I ask pretty much everybody that comes in, and then we see the differences. What's the best part about being a songwriter for you?
The best part about being a songwriter? Free therapy.
Okay.
That's probably the best part. And
all right.
I get to like let stuff out without having to pay a shrink.
Okay. What's the worst part about being a songwriter?
That it's extremely difficult to do sometimes.
Okay. What's the best writing job you've had, or maybe the best songwriting experience you've had?
When I've woken up and the song was finished in my head, and all I had to do was just record it down.
How often does that happen?
Not too often, but
okay.
It happens. When it happens very quickly, when it's just there.
Okay. What's the most difficult songwriting experience you've had?
When it takes a really long time to get it done.
What usually is the problem when you're doing that? Is it the words aren't coming the way you want them, the melody doesn't work out, they don't work together?
What I've found is that because it's such an organic process for me and such a personal process, sometimes I'm not ready to finish it because I haven't completely dealt with what I'm trying to write about. Okay. So it's usually very much related to what I'm doing, where I'm at, and so I can hold myself up, unfortunately.
Okay. What would you do if you weren't a songwriter and a performer? What's your fallback career?
Well, I'm totally into technology, and I work with technology all the time, and really enjoy that. But I studied art in school. I could be a poor painter rather than a poor musician.
Okay. What genre haven't you written that you'd like to try? I mean, we talked about you being part of a contemporary pop, rock, world music, this interesting thing called chamber pop.
I've never called it that, by the way. Only others have said all these things. I have
what do
never,
you call it? What do you refer to it as?
I think it's pop. I think it's because it's melodic and it's rhythmic and
okay.
It's melody driven. But it incorporates a lot of different styles, and I enjoy that. I enjoy incorporating other instruments and so forth.
All right.
So,
what would you do outside pop? What's another genre you'd like to try?
Probably orchestral or musical.
Okay. Who's your biggest influence?
Biggest influence? I don't think I have just one. I really don't.
Okay. Who are your top 3 or 4?
I would say Crosby, Stills and Nash, Prince, Earth, Wind and Fire, and probably Bob Dylan. Going to be Joni
okay.
Mitchell for now. Let's put Joni.
Okay.
Yeah.
What songwriter or performer would it surprise people to know that you like? The skeletons in the closet are what we're
right.
for. Yanni.
ABBA.
Maybe. ABBA.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it would surprise people, but
okay, cool. Well, I want to thank you very much
Welcome.
for coming in and talking to us today.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Watching you go. put a voice in my head. You were the one that moved instead. When all the pieces collapsed, you were a wonder, a mighty wonder. The final chapter we all read. And you worked around it, and you always found it. And I was looking around, watching you go. Yeah, you worked around it, and you looked for and found it. And there was nothing to it as I was watching you go. La 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 la. There were 100 of you, and just one body you were through. Like a power unmatched, like no other. You were a father, a million brothers we all had in you. And you worked around it, and you always found it. And I was looking around, watching you go. Yeah, you worked around it, and you looked for and found it. And there was nothing to it as I was watching you go. La 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 la. Oh yeah, you worked around it, and you always found it. And I was looking around, watching you go. Yeah, you worked around it, and you looked for and found it.